Alright everyone, the year of the modern flashbacks has returned. We are playing, oh my god, Triple Champions of Kamigawa. I have never ever in my entire life drafted Triple Champions of Kamigawa. I think the main thing is we want to open through the breach. As far as uncommons, Sensei's Divining Top. I have to say though, I've been dreading Champions flashbacks simply because the names are insane. I have a hard time saying regular magic cards right sometimes. So this should be interesting to see how the pronunciation of Kamigawa block goes. Combined with the fact I'm going to have to read a lot of the cards because I've never drafted this format and generally don't like Kamigawa. So let's see. What do we have here? Our rare is Orochi Hatchery, double X, enters the battlefield with X charge counters, pay 5, put a snake onto the battlefield for each charge counter. Okay, makes a bunch of snake tokens. Whenever you cast a Spirit Arcane, destroy a non-basic land. Soratami Savant, 2/2 flyer for 4, return a land to, pay 3, return a land to your hand, counter a spell unless its controller plays 3, that's probably fine. Crazy equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. If it's legend, it gets an additional +2/+2, and if it's red, it has trample. Alright, so you want to put that on a red legend, apparently. Flying, Bushido 2. I'm sure Moth Rider Samurai is decent. Destroy target non-spirit is probably alright. I think we're taking Glacial Ray, which, the one thing I do know from drafting Modern Masters is there's probably a sweet arcane deck. So this is basically like a shock that costs 2 mana, but you can splice it onto an arcane spell. So when you play an arcane spell, you can pay the splice cost of 2, and you don't actually cast the Glacial Ray. It like is an additional effect added onto the arcane spell. So you still get the Glacial Ray in your hand, so you can just pay an extra 2 mana with any arcane and kill something or deal damage to the opponent. Reweave. Sounds really complicated. It technically is an arcane. Yeah, I don't think we want that. A Honden makes people discard. A 3/3 for 4. Bushido 2 gets pumped up for... we might just take Befoul here. It's just a removal spell. Destroy target land or non-black creature. We probably will want to be blue, though, if we're going to be the arcane deck. Most likely. So what do we have here? Another Befoul. Maybe removal just isn't good in this set? It seems like removal should be good. I mean, it's 4 mana, destroy target non-black creature or land. Like, that seems good. Protection from spirits and arcane. Search your library for an arcane card, reveal, put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. That could be sweet depending on how the deck shakes out. This Pinger is probably good, deals a damage if the creature would die. It gets exiled. Vigilance. Enchanted creature gets vigilance. I love these old cards whose name is literally just the effect they have. They need to print a card called Menace in Shadows. Alright, we'll take another Befoul. So far, I have no idea if this is actually going well. What do we have? Squelch. I tried to play this card in a deck once, and it was way worse than I thought it would be. For some reason, I was thinking it was counter target activated or triggered ability, like Stifle, but no. It just hits an activated ability, which really cuts down on what it targets. Zozu, the Punisher. 2/2, basically a... I can't think of the name of the card now. Whenever a land enters the battlefield, it does 2 damage to the land's controller. There's an artifact, 2 mana artifact that does that. Ronin Houndmaster, I guess, would fit our deck. Wicked Akuba, if we're going to be heavy enough black, is pretty sweet. It's a 2/2 for 2. If it hits the opponent, you can pay him on a black and make that player lose that much life. I think we're going to take Wicked Akuba. See if maybe we'll end up being a very heavy black deck. Crushing Pain does 6 damage to target creature that was dealt damage this turn. So you can like ping it and then kill it with this. It is an arcane spell, so it could work. Ooh. Draw 2 cards and discard a card. Yep. If you cast a spell name Peer Through Depths and a spell name Reach the Mist this turn, you can search your library for the Unspeakable and put it on the battlefield and shuffle your library. Sacrifice this, it does X damage to target creature. I kind of like Shift Through Sands, but maybe we're getting away whoa, and there's Unspeakable! Alright. New goal, against the odds, Champions of Kamigawa version. There's another Wicked Akuba. We could actually take the Unspeakable and try to pull off the combo. Do we want to try to actually do it? We look like we have a reasonable removal deck as it is, though. We can just be like a good black-red deck with a lot of removal, and maybe that can win the draft? But this would just be so sweet. I mean, we could just take Wicked Akuba. It fits with our plan of killing. Alright. We'll try to win the draft. It would have been sweet to go with the Unspeakable, but I don't think that actually is a reasonable plan. What do we have here? Hankayu. Equipped creature has tap, put an aim counter on Hankayu. Remove all aim counters from Hankayu. This creature deals damage to target creature player equal to the number of aim counters removed this way. I don't think we want that. Root Runner, put a land on top of its owner's library if you sack it. 3-drop, Commune, a 1-drop. Field of Reality, can't be blocked by spirits. I guess we just take this red card. Does 1 damage to each creature, which I guess could be relevant. Devouring Rage is an additional cost to cast Devouring Rage. Sacrifice any number of spirits. Target creature gets +3/+0 until end of turn for each spirit sacrificed this way. That creature gets an additional +3/+0. I guess we have a couple spirits. There's also just Desperate Ritual, which is sweet. I mean, I know that's a key card if you're actually the arcane deck, so I guess we just take that. Counter target spell with converted mana cost 4 or less. Destroy target land on Stone Rain. A 1/3 snake that does something. Maybe we just take Curse Ronin. If we're heavy black, it might not be bad. It's basically a shade with Bushido 1. And I don't think we want Tenza Godo's Maul, or to destroy non-basic lands. So we'll take that. Reg Dealer, exile up to 3 target cards from a graveyard. That could actually be relevant, maybe. Sack it to return a creature you control to its owner's hand. Reweave. Again. Yeah, I think we're going to take Reg Dealer for the sideboard. Seems like that could somehow be relevant. Might just take this Distress. Sort of like essentially a 2-mana Thoughtseize that doesn't cost life. Or we could take Eerie Procession if we still think we might end up... Is there any chance we still end up with the Arcane deck? We'll take Distress. I think it's unlikely at this point that we end up being a true Arcane, like a Dampening Pulse type deck. Although that deck is really sweet. The key Avalanchers, sure. Foil land. 2/1 for 5 whenever you cast a Spirit or Arcane regenerate target creature. It's a 2/1 for 5. What was happening in Kamigawa? Yeah, regeneration seems annoying. These... Oh, never mind. You can't regenerate through Befoul. Well, I really don't know if this is going well. We have things that I think would be good if this is a normal draft format. Alright. Kitsune Mystic. At the beginning of the end step, if it's enchanted by 2 or more auras, you flip it, and it becomes an enchantment with pay 1 attach, target aura attached to a creature to another creature. So you can bounce around auras. I know Honden of Seeing Winds is pretty sweet. It just draws you a card every turn, which is pretty good. A 3/3 for 5. Arcane switches power and toughness. Man, so many cards that just don't feel good in this set. Ooh. Well, that's really expensive, but it's an Arcane and it's an instant, and it kills anything. Alright, we'll take a Pull Under. Hopefully this removal normal deck plan is a good one. If not, we might be in trouble. Shift Through Sands is good arcane spell. A key Coal Flinger. Well, that's probably pretty good. 2/2 for 3, has first strike, pay 1 red and tap it, give target creature first strike. Another decent blue arcane spell, Eye of Nowhere. Another Honden. Someone's probably going to have this Honden deck and just destroy us. I don't know how much I haven't seen any fixing though. So I don't know how realistic it is to play like 4 or 5 color Hondens. Sack a creature, target player discards a card, activate this only when you play sorcery. Cruel Deceiver, 2/1 for 2, look at the top card of your library, reveal the top card of your library if it's a land card. It gains whenever it's dealt damage, destroy target creature, activate this only once each turn. I think we're going to take Coal Flinger. Hinder, former commander staple, before they changed the Tuck rule. A 1/1 for 2, when it enters the battlefield, add 1 red. Villainous Ogre, can't block. As long as you control a demon, Villainous Ogre has pay 1 black to regenerate. Uncontrollable Anger. Flash, enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and attacks each turn if able. Soul Shift is annoying. Return a creature to its owner's hand, splice onto an arcane. I might just take that. None of the stuff in our colors seems to do much. I still don't think we can really end up heavy blue, but we'll see. Wow! Alright, a 1/1 for 4, Bushido 2, so whatever this creature blocks or becomes black, it gets +2/+2. Pay a black and 5 life to regenerate it. That is a serious cost. They wanted to make sure you didn't regenerate that too often. Good lord. Alright, Midnight Covenant basically makes a creature into a shade. You can pay 1 black, give it +1/+1 until end of turn. Might just take this Nezumi Ronin. 3/1 for 3, has Bushido 1. Basically, with all of our removal, we just want like good, aggressively costed creatures. Scuttling Death is good if you have a dedicated Soul Shift deck. So Soul Shift is this weird ability. When this creature dies, so you play this, when it dies, you can return a spirit with converted mana cost 4 or less, so whatever the Soul Shift number is, or less, from your graveyard to your hand, so you can just keep like chaining and grinding with spirits. Which is one reason I'm worried that our, man, another Honden too. I wonder if anyone actually tries to do that. Soul of the Magma. Whenever we cast a spirit or arcane spell, does 1 damage to target creature. I guess we can take Scuttling Death, maybe. Yeah, we'll take it. We don't really have a way to abuse it yet, but you may change the targets of target arcane spell. Walking Nightmare, I guess, is alright. It's an arcane spell, and it is a Mind Rot. There's not much else in our colors. I think we're past the point of being the Desperate Ritual arcane deck, so we'll take Walking Nightmare. Oh man, I love this card. Jushi Apprentice. It's a 1/2 for 2. Pay 1 in a blue, tap it, draw a card. If you have 9 more cards, you flip it into an enchantment where you pay 5 and tap it, and target player draws X cards. Actually, no. It turns into a creature. Legendary creature, human wizard, blank. Has no power or toughness. Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure what that means. This one has flying. When you flip it, oh, 1/1 for 2, yes. If you flip it, everything gets flying. We're going to take the rare. I don't know if we can actually play it. I don't know if we can splash blue that easily. Strange Inversion came back. Is there any way this is good? The 3/3 for 5 came back. Blood Rites. Sack a creature. Blood Rites deals 2 damage to creature or player. I guess we take this 5-drop. Ragged Veins. Enchant creature. Whenever enchanted creature is dealt damage, its controller loses that much life. Devouring Rage. Still coming around. We read that one earlier. Nice 1/4 for 3. So I guess in green you can potentially fix mana by the looks. I guess we'll take Strange Inversion. I don't know if we'll actually play it, but take Shift Through Sands. Sacrifice any number of lands. then add that much colorless to your mana pool. That sounds risky. I don't think we want to go down that path. 5-drop Mountain Walker. Soul of, well, Death Cursed Egg. Everything seems so overpriced in this. 3/3 for 6. When it dies, each player loses 3 life. Alright, sure. Another Rag Dealer. And Ethereal Haze, which is like a fog effect. Alright. Well, we're going to have enough playables. I have very little idea whether or not this deck is good. I will say I'm glad we have these 2 Rag Dealers, just in case. I know that in Modern Masters 2015, the Soul Shift deck was actually pretty good. I don't know if that could be a problem in this format, but if it is, we have an answer for it. Jeez. So we just have nothing? Uba Mask. If a player would draw a card, that player exiles a card face up instead. Each player may play cards he or she exiled with Uba Mask. Having a hard time seeing how we can make that work in Limited. We have opened some bad rares, which I guess isn't surprising, because there are some bad rares in this set. Otherworldly Journey. Sire of the Storm seems sweet, but I just don't think we can splash. I don't know how we can splash in this deck. Could use more creatures. Cruel Deceiver, another Walking Nightmare. If we're just sticking to black and red at this point. I guess Cruel Deceiver is the most aggressively costed of them. General's Kabuto. Equipped creature has Shroud. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to equipped creature. That doesn't seem that great. Hanabi Blast does 2 damage to target creature or player. Return Hanabi Blast to its owner's hand, then discard a card at random. That seems pretty sweet. That seems better than all this other stuff in our colors. So we'll take it. Probably good in the late game when we can just hold on to a land and try to discard the land to keep shocking things. Put a Devotion counter on Bloodthirsty Ogre. 3/1 for 3. Target creature gets tap it, -X, -X. Target creature gets -X till end of turn where X is the number of Devotion counters on Bloodthirsty Ogre. Activate this only if we control a demon? That ability seems sweet, but we are demonless. Konda's Banner. Only equip it to a legend. Creatures that share a color with a creature get +1/+1. Creatures that share a type with a creature get +1/+1. I could imagine losing to that. There is not much for us. I guess we can just take this. Man, well, maybe we get a demon. That card seems really good if we have a demon. Oni Possession. Enchant creature at the beginning of your upkeep. Sacrifice a creature. Enchanted creature gets +3/+3 and has trample. Enchanted creature is a demon spirit. So I guess that works with our Bloodthirsty Ogre. Combo. Nice 8-drop. Can destroy all other creatures. Hopefully we're fast enough for that not to matter. Are we really taking this crazy card? I guess. Cranial Extraction. I think there could be a cool modern deck around this, but not in Limited. No siree, Bob. Probably just take Cruel Deceiver. I guess. It's a 2-drop. Creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain fear until end of turn. Well, here's all the good arcane spells. Peer Through Depths. Instant Arcane, look at the top 5 cards of your library, reveal an instant sorcery card. So basically that deck, if you can get it, is you just want all these arcane spells, Reach Through Mist, Peer Through Depths, Glacial Ray, and so forth, and you just keep chaining them onto each other, and it gets pretty crazy. Brutal Deceiver, I guess, is sort of on curve. Do we want to give everything fear until end of turn? Does that could help us close out games, if that is going to be a problem for our deck. We probably just want another creature more, though. Whoa! God. Got excited because it was a duel, but I'm less excited because this land is so bad. Can add black or red, but then it does untap your next turn. Hooray. Yamabushi's Flame. 3 damage to creature or player. If creature would die, exile instead. That seems fine. Return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Place onto an arcane. Alright, maybe. Distress. Enters the battlefield, tap, pay 2 life, add 2 mana, only use it to cast legendary spells. Not for us. I think we're going to just take Distress for the sideboard. Take another Yamabushi Storm for the sideboard. Being able to kill a bunch of things and exile them seems good. So I guess we're not playing Juicy Apprentice. Just not worth the splash. We have about 1,000,000 3-drops. We have a few Spirit and Arcanes, but I don't know if that's worth it. That could get someone. It's tricky. Might be better than our other options. I'm going to take this equipment just so, in the off chance we don't lose to it, take a Lava Spike, because it's worth like 0.25 of a tick or something. Well, I don't know. I honestly do not know. I have no clue if this deck is good or functional. I mean, we got some removal. I like that. 2 Befouls. We also have some janky stuff. We gotta probably cut something. Might just be Death Cursed Ogre. Aura of Domination. Enchant creature, pay 1 and tap it. An untapped creature you control to untap enchanted creature. Probably a combo with that out there. Wait, does that just go infinite? Where? Oh, I didn't pick it. Tap an untapped creature you control, untap enchanted creature. So if you have something that can tap to make a creature, that just goes infinite, I think. I read it for like 2 seconds, so I was picking the other card. If that was saying what I think it's saying, it sounds like you would just go infinite with anything that tapped to make a creature. Because tap to make a creature, then you could tap the creature to untap the thing that's making the creature, and just do that again and again. I'll have to look into that for against the odds. It's like some really janky twin combo. We still need to cut something. It might just be Death Cursed Ogre. No, not really a fan of playing 3/3s for 6. Scuttling Death would also be on the list. Strange Inversion, it might be worse than either of them. The only upside is it is a arcane spell for our Glacial Ray. But I don't know if that's a reason to keep it in the deck. It just doesn't do much. Yeah, let's get rid of Strange Inversion. We have a lot of 3s anyway. Well, I mean, I guess that's the deck. We got some relatively powerful 2-drops. Like, we just got a decent curve. None of our creatures are insane, but our curve is decent. We got Glacial Ray, Yamabushi's Flame, a couple of Befouls, a Pull Under. So we got some decent removal. And then we just got some stuff. Our creatures are just kind of there. But they might be good enough. It seems like if we can like just play Wicked Akuba on turn 2 and start using our removal spells to get it in, it can do a lot of damage because you can drain a lot of life with Wicked Akuba. Anyway, I'm going to add some lands. We definitely want more swamps. Yeah, 10-7 is probably right. The problem I see here also is we got Wicked Akuba, double black on turn 2, Aki Coalflinger, Hanabi Blast, double red on turn 3, then double black on turn 4 again for Befoul. So we might have some awkwardness in our mana, but overall, I have no clue. If this was a deck in some regular format that I was familiar with, I would think it was pretty good, just because our removal seems good. But I'm a little worried that Kamigawa has these weird strategies, like the Hondens that don't really care about creatures, spirits that can use Soul Shift to keep getting back from the graveyard, or the Arcane deck, which is spell-based, that our removal just won't be good against. So I think it mostly depends on what other people are playing and what we run into. If we run into just other creature decks, I think our deck is solid. But we'll see. I'm going to submit it. We'll be back for round 1 of our Triple Kamigawa, Champions of Kamigawa rough drafts.